Yep, this is the third time I'm doing these videos. Let's see how much hate I get this time. Hey everyone, welcome to the Top 10 list and welcome to yet another Top 10 movies I like but everyone else seems to hate. Yes, 2 years ago near the first year when I started YouTube, I did a video that everyone loves. My most popular video on YouTube is the Top 10 movies I hate but everyone else seems to like and stuff, and everyone seemed to really love those videos. And last year I did a part 2 of that, and I did another Top 10 movies I like but everyone else hates and I hate but everyone else likes and stuff. And yeah, I thought I'd do it a third time. Yes, I thought I would do yet another Top 10 movies I like but everyone else seems to hate. And yes, in my next video I'll do yet another Top 10 movies I hate but everyone else seems to like. Yes, when it comes to this Top 10 list, not all these movies like people despise and stuff, but the general consensus, people really don't care for these movies. I'd say most of these movies, most people aren't the biggest fans of, but I really do enjoy these films. And yeah, just a personal opinion, and again, if you disagree, that's fine. It's all good and fun here. So yeah, let's get to it. Here's yet another Top 10 movies I like, but everyone else seems to hate. Alright, coming at number 10 is The Godfather Part 3. Yes, everyone loves The Godfather. I love The Godfather. The Godfather, the first one, is my favorite out of the trilogy. Francis Ford Coppola, how he directed that movie, Marlon Brando's performance, everyone's performance, James Caan, Robert Duvall, Al Pacino, Diane Keaton, everyone's fantastic in that movie. How the movie's written and structured, and it's even better than the book, which wasn't even all that great. It's so good. I love the first one. The second one was just as good. I still think the first one's better, but the second one is really solid. It's got amazing direction. De Niro's performance as the young Vito Corleone is so good. Now, the third one was actually nominated for a few Academy Awards, but a lot of people really didn't like this movie. So a lot of people thought this movie was more of a Hollywoodized version of Godfather. They didn't really like it. A lot of people called this movie cheesy. Everyone hated Sofia Coppola. There was a lot of over-the-top violence in this movie. A lot of people just didn't feel like this was a Godfather, like a part of the Godfather franchise. I felt like it was a completely different film. I get that. I still really enjoy Godfather 3. Yes, it is nowhere near as good as the first two, but I still do enjoy this film. I like Al Pacino's performance. I like Andy Garcia's performance. I like Diane Keaton's performance. I love how this movie ends. It's a very dark ending, and it kills the character off, who I freaking hated. Spoilers, they kill Sofia Coppola. Sofia Coppola is awful. Yes, I know he tried to make his daughter an actress. She's not good. She's terrible in this movie. Hey, they kill her off, so that's a good thing. That's pretty awesome to watch. This movie also has a very dark ending. It does have an interesting story, has a pretty good plot twist, and I do enjoy it. For some reason, I do enjoy it. A lot of people don't, but I like it. Coming number 9 is Star Trek Into Darkness. Again, this is a pretty critically acclaimed film on Rotten Tomatoes. It's like an 80-something on Rotten Tomatoes. But so many fans despise this movie. Like, a lot of Star Trek fans hate this movie. And a lot of people judge me because I really like this movie. A lot of people give me a lot of shit for liking this movie. Everyone's like, this is just a ripoff of Wrath of Khan. This is not a true Star Trek movie. This is a stupid movie. Fuck this movie. People need to calm down. This is actually a very good movie. I really enjoy Star Trek Into Darkness. It's definitely not the best Star Trek movie. It's not even the best Star Trek movie out of these new Star Trek movies. Beyond is better. 2009 Star Trek movie is better. I still like it. I like J.J. Abrams' direction. I like Benedict Cumberbatch. He's not as good as the original Khan, but I still enjoyed him for what he was. I like Chris Pine, Zachary Quinto, Simon Pegg. The new cast is still great. They were better in the first one because I like how they did the first one, how they did the reboot and stuff. That was like a multiverse and stuff. This movie is still good. It has a very emotional moments. Like when Captain Pike dies, it's very emotional stuff. And I do like the visuals and the action. Yes, Alice Eve is kind of a waste, but still there's some funny moments. There's some good action. Yes, the ending is kind of a ripoff of Wrath of Khan, but an opposite. Kirk is the one that dies and stuff. But I still found it fine. I still enjoyed it for what it was. And again, I know a lot of Star Trek fans hate this movie, but hey, I like it. Coming in number 8 is Ghost in the Shell. Yes, no, not the 1990s anime Ghost in the Shell. That movie's amazing. Everyone loves that movie. Critics, audiences, anime fans, everyone loves that movie. But I'm talking about the Ghost in the Shell movie that came out this year in 2017, starring Scarlett Johansson. I like this movie. This movie was a critical disaster. This movie made shit in the box office. We're definitely not getting any sequels anytime soon because this movie flopped badly. I liked it. I liked this movie. I thought it was pretty good. I liked the visuals. I liked Scarlett Johansson's performance as the Major. She did a very good job. But a lot of people did call it a very generic movie. There are some generic moments in it, but I still enjoyed it for what it was. And yeah, I know a lot of people hate it, but I liked it. Coming number 7 is Babe, Pig in the City. Yes, I'm glad so many people are on my side now, because when this movie came out, this movie was thrashed by the critics. Like, this is a 60% now on Rotten Tomatoes, but like, when this movie came out, no one wanted to see it. A lot of people were insulting it. It didn't even make a lot of money in the box office. People were just not impressed by Babe, Pig in the City. And this is directed by George Miller, and it's weird. He went from Mad Max to friggin' Babe, and yeah, it's not, people say it's not as good as the first Babe film, and it's not. The first Babe film is a really great movie. It's a timeless movie. It's got a really adorable story with an adorable character about a pig, you know, rounding up sheep and stuff, and he doesn't want to get eaten by the farmer, so he pretends to be like he's a dog, which is pretty awesome and a pretty great story. And they use the talking animals thing, and not in an annoyance way, but in a very adorable way and a very heartwarming way. This movie, they did the same, and they actually did it very darker and more interesting, and yeah, this is a more interesting film, and actually I think it has better direction than the first Babe movie, but the first Babe movie has the heart, it has the quotable lines like, "That'll do, pig. That'll do." It also has James Cornwell, so James Cornwell also gives it the edge for that movie. And just, again, that movie's more timeless. This one is a much darker movie, but it takes a lot more risks for a kid's movie, and I really, really enjoyed it, and I love this movie, and I'm glad there's a bigger fan base for it now, but when it came out, people hated it. They hated it. Even now, people still don't care for this movie, but people should. It's good. Coming number 6 is XMen Apocalypse. This is the movie people are going to be like giving me the "fuck you, man, you call yourself a comic book fan, get out of here." I'm home, so I can't get out of here. So anyways, yeah, XMen Apocalypse. I liked it. I thought it was good. Like, the Quicksilver scene is pretty awesome, and I did find that there were some pretty epic moments and very emotional moments, especially with Michael Fassbender when he loses his family. Like, some very hard-hitting stuff in this movie. There's some very good direction, good visuals, and I do want to see where this X-Men movies are going. I heard Bryan Singer doesn't want to do many of them anymore, but I liked X-Men Apocalypse. Some people hated it, most people hated it, but I liked it. Coming number 5 is Casanova. Casanova is another movie that didn't do well critically or box office wise. This is a Heath Ledger movie, and I have a soft spot for Heath Ledger. Not movies, I loved everything he did. Even his bad movies, I liked watching it. Like The Four Feathers is a terrible movie, but I still watched it because Heath Ledger. I was always a fan of Heath Ledger. I even watched The Brothers Grimm in theaters, and that's a terrible ass movie, but I liked Matt Damon and Heath Ledger. Casanova, I liked when I was younger, when I first saw this movie. I saw this movie in theaters, so yeah, I was pretty young watching this movie, and yeah, I liked it, and I still to this day like it. I think it has good direction. I think Heath Ledger is very good in this movie. He plays a very likable character. I like the whole supporting cast. I like the production and costumes and makeup in this movie. I love the period it's set in. I think the story is very well done. It is not a brilliant movie, but it's a darn entertaining one, and it has a lot of good laughs and drama and romance, all the stuff that I love, and it's got Heath Ledger giving a great performance. So what's not to like about this movie? Yes, critics hate it, but hey, I like it. Coming number 4 is Lethal Weapon 4. Yes, Lethal Weapon 4. Again, there's a fan base for this. Like, the die-hard Lethal Weapon fans love this movie, but everyone else hates this movie. Again, it didn't do well box office-wise. Critically, it's not very well done. It's like 50% on Rotten Tomatoes. People don't like Lethal Weapon 4. They always say Lethal Weapon 1 and 2 are the best Lethal Weapon movies. I think Richard Donner did a great job with all of the movies, and this is the weakest film, but I still have a lot of fun with Lethal Weapon 4. Again, people don't like it. I find it funny. I find it entertaining. Chris Rock is a bit annoying at times, but he gives a laugh here and there. Joe Pesci again. I got. He was much funnier in the second one, but again, he has a laugh here and there. I love Danny Glover and Mel Gibson's. Their chemistry is always great. Riggs and Murtaugh. Riggs! Where are you, Riggs? Getting too old for this shit. He's been getting too old for this shit for like 20 goddamn years. Please don't make Lethal Weapon 5. I don't think any of us need that, but I still enjoyed this movie. I enjoyed the story. I liked where these characters were all going, you know, with Rene Russo and Mel Gibson have a baby. They got Jet Li as a villain. He's pretty badass. The fight between him and Riggs and Murtaugh is a pretty awesome fight scene, and I liked it. The action worked. The comedy worked. It may be the weakest out of the franchise, but it's still a good movie. Coming number 3 is Scream 3. Yes, Scream 3. Yes. Don't it? Yes, do you want to die tonight, Sydney? That's the first one. Do you want to die tonight, Cece? That's the second one. Do you want to die tonight, Cotton Weary? It's not what he says in the beginning, but still, are you a 100% Cotton fan? I like Scream 3. Scream 3 is an enjoyable, guilty pleasure horror film. I still enjoy the creative kills, and again, the characters that we're attached to, like Sidney Prescott, and yes, Gail and Dewey and stuff, but there's no Randy. They killed Randy off in the second one. Why? Randy was the best character. Never kill the best character off in your horror franchise. Fucking Wes Craven. Anyways, he still makes an appearance in this movie with his videotape, and it's hands down the best scene in the movie. It's so great. I love the unique spin and the twist of who the killer is. It ties into Sydney's past. There's some weird scenes with, like, Sydney seeing her dead mother everywhere. That's a little weird and stuff, but I still enjoy this movie. I still have a lot of nostalgia for this movie. It's definitely one of the early horror films I always watched when I was younger, and yeah, I like the whole franchise as a whole, so of course, I like Scream 3. Coming number 2 is In Time. Yes, Andrew Nichols, In Time, starring Justin Timberlake. Yes, hear me out on that. Like, as soon as I said Justin Timberlake, you're all like, okay, this guy is weird. This guy has no idea what he's talking about. I am clicking off this video now. Yeah, this movie's good, though. I like In Time. Again, this is like a 38% on Rotten Tomatoes. It didn't do well, again, in the box office. I like this idea. This premise of this movie is so interesting. Everyone has, like, time on their arms, and basically, when you reach a certain age, your entire life runs on time, and when your time runs out, you instantly die, and you work for time. There's no such thing as money. You work for time. Like, you get paid, like, hourly wages and stuff, and you get time for it. Again, you're adding more time to your life when you, like, work and stuff, and when you buy stuff, it takes time off of your own life, which is interesting. I thought that was a really cool, interesting, fresh, original story and an idea and premise, and leave it to Andrew Niccol. Andrew Niccol wrote and directed this movie, who did Gattaca. Gattaca, great film, better film than this, but I thought this movie was very ambitious, and I did enjoy it. There are a lot of flaws. There are a lot of moments in this movie that just do not work. There's a lot of corny scenes in this movie, but I still enjoyed it. I thought Justin Timberlake was fine in the movie. I liked Cillian Murphy as the villain. He was really enjoyable. I wouldn't even call him a villain. He's actually more on the right than anyone, but he was great in this movie too. And again, I like the idea and the premise of this movie. And yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. Again, it was bashed by the critics, which I totally get, but I thought it was a very unique and original film, and we live in a world where we don't get a lot of originality in movies, so it's a breath of fresh air to see something very cool and unique, and yeah, I liked In Time. Not everyone did, but I enjoyed it. And the number 1 movie I like, but everyone else seems to hate, is The Hobbit trilogy. Again, this is going to be a pretty debatable one because, again, there is a fan base for the Hobbit movies, but again, critically wise, all these movies are like the 60%, so most critics either really hate this movie or they just find it pretty decent, pretty good. And again, a lot of diehard Lord of the Rings fans really despise this movie. There's a lot of people who really hates the Hobbit trilogy. They really don't like it. They don't like the relationship with the frickin' dwarf and the frickin' elf, Evangeline Lilly and stuff. I don't like that either, but I still like all these movies. I like An Unexpected Journey, and I like Desolation of Smaug and The Battle of Five Armies. I think they're all very fun, very entertaining adventure films. I thought Peter Jackson did a good job. An Unexpected Journey is actually one of my favorites, actually. I actually enjoy it more than The Two Towers. I think it's a very enjoyable film. I love that it builds on the characters. It builds on Thor and Oakenshield and Bilbo and the relationship with Gandalf and the fun adventure they go on. I love the relationship between Thor and Bilbo, how they hate each other, then they grow to respect each other. The scene with Gollum is really good. Trilogy as a whole is not even close to being as good as Lord of the Rings, but I still find it very fun, very enjoyable, and I just love what Peter Jackson did with this world. I loved returning to Middle Earth to watch a great story, even though it should have been 2 films, which it was originally going to be. But still, as a whole, I still really do enjoy it. I know a lot of people hate it, but the Hobbit movies, I have a soft spot for them. I think they're very good and very entertaining. So yeah, that was yet another top 10 movies I like, but everyone else seems to hate. Look forward to my next video where I'll do yet another top 10 movies I hate, but everyone else seems to like. So yeah, look forward to that. So in the comment section below, please tell me, what are some movies that you love, but everyone else seems to hate? Give me your 10s, comment below, let me know. And as always, for the latest video, please like, subscribe to this channel, and join the dark side.